Hey guys, it's yours truly coming back at you all with another one, and today I will be simplistically teaching you how to play DDDs. I will run you guys through 1, 2, 3, and 4 card combos that help you build the ideal board, as well as I created a standard DDD deck for you guys to be able to play with. And if you are a fan of the anime and you love the original way that DDDs were introduced, I built 3 decks for you guys that utilize the 3 kings, their high kings, and their super doom kings forms. But let's get on with the deck profile. In the standard, you play 1 copy of Necro Slime, 2 copies of Swirl Slime, 1 Vice Typhoon, 3 Kepler, 3 Copernicus, 3 Orthoros, 3 Griffin, 1 DD Dog, 2 Oblivion King, 2 Vice King, and 2 Zero King. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 141, 2 Ruler No More, 1 Lightning Storm, 2 Reus Map, 1 of their field spell, 3 Gates, 1 Dark Contract with the Swarm King, 2 Called by the Grave, 1 DDD Headhunt, and 1 Eternal Darkness. And in the extra deck, we play 2 small Genghis, 1 big Genghis, 1 Wave Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok, no wonder why his name even needs to be that long, 1 Siegfried, 1 High King Alexander, 1 Bright Armageddon, 1 Wave King Caesar, 1 King Tell, 1 High Wave King Caesar, 1 Caluga, 1 Dark Armageddon, they're ranked 10, and 2 King Gilgamesh. And let's get on with the combos. Alright, this is going to be a 1 card Kepler combo. Now for this combo, I don't have Kepler in hand, so I'm going to use 1 for 1 and send the Vice King Requiem to the graveyard. Under normal circumstances, if Vice King or 1 for 1 was Kepler, you'd just be using 1 Kepler to combo off. Because we have our Gate in hand already, the actual combo is Kepler Gate Extender, so that you can link into Gilgamesh and set your pendulum scales, and then you pendulum back out the monsters from your extra deck to make 2 walls, and you'd overlay them into a second Gilgamesh, and then you would make the rank 10. You would have Gate face up, so he would act as a disruption. You would have Oblivion King inside your pendulum zone, and a Gilgamesh face up, so if that's destroyed, you just bring back a DDD monster with a revival effect, and once you start special summoning DDDs, they would just keep reviving to help build a board from there. But since we have our Gate in hand, when we summon the Kepler, because it's Kepler Gate Extender, since we have Gate, we're just going to get our Eternal Darkness. Since our pendulum scales are going to be in place, it's going to make the Eternal Darkness live. Here we go. We're going to go 1 for 1. We're going to discard the Vice King Requiem. We're going to go Kepler. Then we're going to use Kepler, Eternal Darkness. Then we're going to go Gate into our Extender. Griffin, there are only 2 extenders, Griffin and Vice inside this deck. Special summon the Griffin, and then we're going to link in the Gilgamesh. Once we do that, then we're going to set our pendulum scales between 5 and 0, so we can special summon back out the Kepler, so we can link into a second copy of Gilgamesh. But for the sake of this video, since I have Vice King Requiem in my graveyard, an Oblivion King would be in my pendulum zone. Once I pendulum summon, I'm going to revive back the Vice King Requiem and use it to make the rank 10. And also keep in mind, when Vice King Requiem is face up on the field, you cannot special summon DD monsters, only DDD monsters. So keep that in mind before you summon him, to make sure you make all of your DD special summons before you summon him. Now we're going to set our pendulum scale between 0 and 5. We're going to pendulum summon. Then we're going to use Griffin's effect, so we could send the additional copy of Gate to the graveyard just to see what we draw you. If you have any additional contract cards that you don't need, or DD cards, you can send them to the graveyard just to see what kind of sweetness comes out of the deck. We're going to go from there. We're going to revive the Vice King Requiem. Going to summon that face up, and then we're going to draw. Let's see what we get. There's Call by the Grave. Now we're going to turn that Vice King Requiem into our rank 10. We're going to set 2 cards and then we are going to pass. The moment their turn starts, we're going to activate Eternal Darkness, preventing them from using monsters on the field for fusion, synchro, and exceed material, as well as they won't be able to be targeted by spell and trap card effects, as well as they cannot be used as tributes for a tribute summoning, meaning that they cannot sphere mode your field. Now let's see what our opponent does. Eternal Darkness. Noble Knight. Okay, we're gonna take that. Get rid of Gate. One. Nope, we're gonna Call by the Graves that so we can save our Snatch Steal effect. And we're gonna take that. You're not gonna be allowed 2 monsters. See that? And that's game. And on to the next combo. Alright, this is going to be our 2-card combo. 1 Griffin, 1 Copernicus. We have our Gate in hand, so we can add our Copernicus to pair with Griffin and combo off. We also opened up with our Headhunt, so that's really good. And we also opened up with our Dark Contract with the Swarm King, which is really good because it's also a combo piece that we would normally add. Since we already have it, we get to get some extra sauce. But here we go. So we're going to use Gate and we're going to add our Copernicus. Then we're going to normal summon our Copernicus, and off the Copernicus we're going to dump the Necro Slime. From there we're going to special summon our Griffin. We're going to link into Abyss King, and then we're going to set our Pendulum Scales. And this is the most important part, is the scales that you set. You're going to set Orthoros and Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok in your scales. From there we're going to pendulum summon back out the Copernicus and the Griffin so that we could exceed summon into our Wave King Caesar. In this scenario, I'm using Griffin's effect so I can send the Ragnarok to the graveyard. If he gets sent to the graveyard during this combo, he acts as an additional revival extender. He's going to extend your revival play, and you guys are about to see in a minute. We're gonna send him off of Griffin's effect, and this goes for any of your monster combo pieces that you need in the graveyard, such as the 1 copy of Necro Slime. If it's in hand, you can just use Griffin's effect to send it to the graveyard so that it is where it needs to be. We're gonna send the Oblivion King to the graveyard. We ended up with Harpy's Feather Duster. We exceed. We're going into Tell. We're then going to detach and burn for 1,000, and then we're gonna link off the Tell with the Abyss King into another Gilgamesh. And then off of King Tell, we're going to send the Vice Typhoon because we want to conduct 2 fusion summons from our graveyard. From there, we're going to use Necro Slime's effect so we can fusion summon out Small Genghis, and then we're going to follow that up with Vice Typhoon's effect to fusion summon Big Genghis. The monsters you're going to use for this out of your graveyard are going to be Copernicus with Necro Slime, and then you're going to use Gilgamesh with Vice Typhoon for these 2 fusion summons. Go Small Genghis and then Big Genghis. From here, like I said, the Oblivion King, he's an extender for this combo. You don't need him. Originally, you just target your King Tell and your Wave King Caesar for this combo, but because he's in the graveyard, I'm going to utilize him for this. So I'm going to revive him, and then he acts as the revival effect for the small Genghis now. So I'm going to get Tell, and then I'm going to get Wave Caesar. We're going to bring those two back on board. Keep in mind, you do not want to use your Oblivion King's effect in your Pendulum Zone as yet. And I'll explain why further down the combo, and you'll see why that's necessary. From here, we're going to use Orthoros effect to pop the Wave King Caesar. Now, off of this is where we would usually add your Dark Contract with the Swarm Kings, but since we already have that in hand, we can get some extra soup in the form of our Eternal Darkness, the trap card. So we're gonna pop that, add our trap, or you could have added the field spell. It would be up to you. I would say the field spell. I should have added the field spell, but I'm just gonna go with the trap. And then from here, we're gonna use the Dark Contract with the Swarm King's effect to fusion summon. We're gonna use King Tell, and then we're gonna banish the Wave King Caesar from our graveyard, so we can go into its fusion of Oblivion Wave King Caesar. With that, Tell just hit the graveyard again. His effect is not once per turn. We're going to send the field spell to the graveyard now. That's going to add our Orthoros from our extra deck to our hand. Now, from here, we need to trigger our Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok's effect in our Pendulum Zone. So now we're going to go into the rank 10 using the Gilgamesh. Then we're going to bring back the Griffin from our graveyard, so we can add a card from our deck to our hand, which would trigger Orthoros' effect when we get burned to special summon himself out. Now we're going to bring back the Griffin, and then we're going to go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2 to special summon out. Now, off of Griffin's effect, you want to add your Vice King Requiem from your deck to your hand. From here, we're going to synchro summon into the Bright Armageddon. Then we're going to place our Vice King Requiem in our Pendulum Zone. We're going to pop our Dark Contract with the Swarm King, and we're going to special summon it out. Its effect allows it to change its level either up or down by the number of Dark Contracts you destroy. You're not gonna apply that effect. You just want to special summon him out so you can exceed summon. From there, we'll exceed summon into the Dark Armageddon. This board I created so that you can protect your rank 10 brightest. All pendulum monsters on the board cannot be targeted by effects, and darkest, they cannot be destroyed by card effects. So it gives you that ironclad wall protection that he actually needs when he's on board. That also applies to your DD Griffin. He also cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. The only monster vulnerable for destruction would be your Wave Oblivion King Caesar. But from there, we'll equip the from Dark Armageddon. You could attach the Orthoros back to him to give him a third material, and then we're going to set 2 in the form of our Headhunt and our Eternal Darkness. From there, it'll be our opponent's turn. We'll activate that so we can have fuel to keep taking our opponent's monsters. We're going to pop our trap. Give me that. Give me that. Now, okay, he's bringing Dark Magician back. Now this is important right here. Because of Circle, he can banish one card on my side of the field. That's a target effect. Because Bright is on board, all of my Pendulum monsters are safe from effects that target. Meaning that I get to keep my Disrupt as well as keep my Pendulum monsters from being destroyed by card effects, which also includes my Griffin. So he can't banish my Griffin, just only what's in my back row and my Wave Oblivion King Caesar. Alright, there's nothing a Harpy's Feather Duster can't clear up. And with that, his trap will do his Dark Magician in, and yeah, it's game. And on to the next combo. Alright, this combo requires only 3 cards. It helps you set up the ideal board to hold an opponent off. All you need is a Griffin, a Orthros, and a Copernicus. So you can set up this ideal board, just those 3 cards. If you have a Kepler, that's just a plus. It acts as a 4-card combo. Automatically you pick up Kepler in any of your combos, use him if you have him. You can use the Kepler to bait out an Ash, or bait out Vela or an Imperm, and once you have Griffin in hand or Gate in hand to add the Griffin, you can then combo off. But you only need 3 cards with this combo: Griffin, Orthros, Copernicus. Kepler is just a plus. So now we start off with Gate, and we will add the Copernicus to hand so we can have the 3 cards that we actually need. Then we're going to use Kepler so we can add, so we can get our field spell. We're going to play our field spell, and then we're going to special summon the Griffin, then link off into Gilgamesh. Now for our Pendulum Zone scales, once we have reached this point, we want to put in the Oblivion King and your Zero King, so you can have scale 5 and 0. This is important because you want to link back, pendulum back out the Kepler. From there, we'll pendulum summon out Kepler, the Griffin, Copernicus, and Orthros. So you should have 4 monster bodies on board at this point. If you're playing the Kepler, if you're not playing the Kepler, or if you didn't open with the Kepler, you should have 3 on board. You're not going to use the Griffin effect in this situation because you want your Eternal Darkness to close out your board. From there, we're going to dump with Copernicus so we can send the Necro Slime to the graveyard. That's the first one you want to send to the graveyard. The second monster we're going to send off of the King Tell is going to be the DD Dog. From there, we'll overlay into the Wave King Caesar, and then we're going to go into King Tell. We're going to detach, burn for 1,000. Then we're going to link off into our second Gilgamesh using the Kepler. If you don't have Kepler, it's not a problem. You would just link the King Tell with the Gilgamesh that you have on board. But if you have the Kepler, you use the Kepler. From there, we're going to use King Tell's effect to send the DD Dog to the graveyard. Then we're going to use the Necro Slime's effect in the graveyard so we can fusion summon Small Genghis. Then from here, we're going to trigger the Oblivion King so that we can revive the Griffin from our graveyard, and then we're going to use the Flame King Genghis to revive our level 6. So we're going to go Griffin, and this is why Zero King is important, so that you don't take too much damage from your monster effects and contract cards. And then we're going to get back our DD Dog. So we can get our Headhunt, and then we're going to overlay into our rank 6, our High Wave King Caesar. That's our first key monster. Then we're going to synchro summon into Siegfried. Then this is why you would have wanted to use the Kepler so you could keep one Gilgamesh on board into your extra monster zone, and then the second, you're going to overlay that into the rank 10. You're going to put that in defense mode if you open up turn 1, and then you're going to set the 2 cards that you have in your hand. Since we opened up with Eternal Darkness, we can set that along with our Headhunt. If you open up Kepler and your gate, you can automatically, when you summon the Kepler, add your Eternal Darkness to hand. But since we already had it in hand, we just added our field spell. They're gonna provide fuel for our rank 10's effect to keep stealing our opponent's monsters. So now our board setup is our rank 10 with the field spell, gate, and when we flip over our trap, we have our pendulum zone set. So now all monsters on the field would not be able to be targeted by spell and trap card effects, as well as our opponent cannot use monsters on the field for fusion, synchro, and exceed material. On top of that, we'd have our Headhunt down for negate disruption, so we can also snatch steal our opponent's monster. Siegfried for our spell trap card negate, and Wave King Caesar to negate summoning effects and power up our monsters. And let our opponent have a turn. Alright, they go circle. We cut off their ability to effectively play Yu-Gi-Oh! We're gonna take that. And that's Duel. And on to the next combo. Alright, remember that combo I showed you guys using only 2 cards, Copernicus and Griffin? Now I'm going to show you a 3-card variant that gets you a bit of a stronger board. It's really the ideal board that you want to build when you're using this combo that I'm going to execute. The same 2-card combo that allows you to summon out 2 of your Super Dome Kings to protect your rank 10 and your Wave King, Oblivion, Caesar, Ragnarok. I'm sure if all those words were in the right place for his card name, but you guys know what I mean. This is a 3-card combo to get you to a slightly better board, having Siegfried face up along with them instead of just the Griffin. There we go. First we go recess map, so we can add the Kepler to hand. Kepler is an excellent extender. He works wonders. He gets you your dark contracts, and you have him, you play him. Kepler. Now we're gonna go contract, so we can add the key piece. The actual 3-card combo is Copernicus, Griffin, and Osiris, the level 4 tuner that looks like a wolf. That's what we're gonna get. We're gonna add him to hand. Then we're gonna special summon Griffin. Then we're gonna link standard DDD combo play. Set your pendulum zone between 3 and 5. Pendulum summon back out all 3 of them. And then we're gonna do the standard exceed into Wave King and then Tell, so that we can dump Necro Slime and Vice Typhoon in graveyard and continue comboing off like we originally did with the 2-card combo. There we go. So we're gonna dump Slime. I'm speeding it up since I already ran through it. Tell. We're gonna burn. Then we're gonna link off. Keep in mind, don't ever link off the Orthoros. You need that on board so that you can summon your Siegfried. So you'd always link off the Gilgamesh and the King Tell. Now we're gonna send Typhoon, then we're gonna go small Genghis, then we're gonna go big Genghis, then we're gonna revive back Wave King and King Tell. Then we're gonna pop the Wave King so we could add our I'm gonna say polymerization dark contract with the Swarm King, so we can fusion summon using Tell and Wave King. We're gonna banish the Wave King and send Tell to the graveyard. Then send the field spell card so we can add the Orthoros back to our hand. There's our Wave Oblivion, Sea King, whatever the rest of his name is. Now, from here, we're gonna make the rank 10, and then we're synchroing off so we can make the Bright Armageddon, because we want to clear up 2 zone space. So when we revive Griffin and take the burn, we can special summon out the Arthuros. So now we're gonna add and chain link 2 so we can special summon out, get our Vice King off of the Griffin, and then make the Siegfried. Go Vice King, pop, special summon, exceed summon into the Dark Armageddon. And he gains Requiem's effect. We're going to equip, then we're going to set the Call by the Grave, and then we're going to pass turn. Evenly, and this is why Siegfried is so important. Had he had not been face up and it was just Griffin, I would have to banish all but 1 card off of my board, completely devastating my field. And that's why Siegfried is essential when you're setting up these kinds of boards, just to have that spell trap negate. From there, it looks like our opponent is playing trap tricks. I'm gonna take that. Stop being stinking rude, no manners. I'm taking that too. And that's game. And like I said, with Bright Armageddon, Dark Armageddon cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. That'll be all for the combos. So yeah, until next time, later.